Listen up, recruits. I'm Gunnery Sergeant Felix Lubezki, host of SL Tonight, delivering EC war stories straight from the front lines of fear. Dive into twisted battlefield tales where heroes meet horror, soldiers battling unimaginable foes, betrayed comrades, striking shadows, and costly victories. Inspired by classic EC comics, each episode drags you into terror's trenches with gut-punching twists. Got the guts? Stick around. In war, survival's no guarantee. Fall in for tonight's tale. Fall in. Felix Lubezki back at SL Tonight, and we're moving double time. Last episode, Two-Fisted Tales number 22. Kurtzman's stalemate thesis. Artillery math. The cavalry charge stripped of its romance. 4 stories that testified to what war actually is rather than what recruiting posters claim. Tonight we cross into Frontline Combat territory. Issue number 2. September-October 1951. Same editor, same unsparing lens, different address. Frontline Combat was Kurtzman's companion title, EC's second war book, launched the same summer as Two-Fisted Tales, running alongside it as a parallel operation. Where Two-Fisted Tales had broad adventure roots that Kurtzman gradually weaponized into anti-war realism, Frontline Combat was war from issue 1. No romantic inheritance to burn off, just the front. Issue number 2 sends us to 3 different wars in one sitting. Korea, the First World War, and Gettysburg. Kurtzman is making a case across these books. The machinery of war does not change. Only the uniforms and the century. The math stays the same. Jack Davis on the tank crew, Severin Elder in a World War I trench, Wally Wood at Gettysburg, and Kurtzman himself picking up a pencil because some stories apparently require his direct hand. The case is open. Let's read. Right off the bat, I'm going to describe the cover. The covers put us inside. Kurtzman cover puts us inside the tank with the crew, not watching from a safe distance, but shoulder to shoulder in the hatch, and they have just spotted the Chinese army. The composition is all urgency and upward momentum, the tank bursting through the water, the gun swinging to bear. But look at the faces, not heroic, not triumphant, focused and afraid. The way people actually look when the enemy appears. That tension between action and fear is the whole register of this issue. Let's get into it. Jack Davis draws machinery the way a mechanic thinks about it, from the inside out. There's no elegance in how Bouncing Bertha renders its tank. It's a steel box with men in it, and Kurtzman and Davis are going to show you exactly what that means when things go wrong. This story takes place in Korea, in the hill country around Honsong. The battle seesaws back and forth. On a mountain road, squatting like a formidable 4B-ton turtle with a 90mm snout, a tank rests, a Patton M46, affectionately called Bouncing Bertha. Now, see that beetle struggling in the water? See, just a little bug in the middle of a big pond. He doesn't know how he got there or where he's going. He doesn't have a head with a brain. He doesn't know how to get back onto land. Doesn't know a thing. And yet, that little bug has enough sense to keep struggling, keep fighting, and to have hope till the very end, even though he doesn't know how he'll save himself. It's just like people. Hey, you 8-balls, let's get going. Headquarters says the hills are crawling with enemy soldiers. We better catch up with the patrol we're rear guarding. If you gentlemen can break away from your conversation, we'll get on with the war. Now, our cast of characters that take their places. Dave Goldglia, driver, and beside him, PFC Alan Burt, machine gunner. Watch him. And up and behind in the turret, PFC Flicky Ford, assistant gunner. And on his right, PS Lustraw Strat Coleman, driver and gunner. Finally up in the top hatch, Buck Sergeant, John McMullen, Tank Commander. Okay guys, let's take off. And how do you take off? Why, it's simpler than driving an automobile. You switch on the ignition. Feed her gas and the motor coughs and catches with a roar like a gigantic motorcycle. Now with the power of the bio-horses whirling in the engine, the clutch is eased up. The gears mesh, the drive sprocket vanks at the tank tread, and with a lurch, Bertha gets underway, takes off, like a turtle, no, like a rhinoceros, thick-skinned, quick, and deadly. And what does the tank look like on the light-painted inside? Inside Bertha, there is a noise, plenty of noise, the hammering of the motor, wheels squeaking over treads, steel rubbing steel, ammo jiggling in racks, and sometimes bullets thudding against the hull. Pang, pang, pang. Machine gun, button up. Clong, clang, clang, blat. Up ahead, Sarge. Looks like the road's been chewed out. Squeak. Hold her up, Goglia. Okay, Sarge. What do you think, Strat? Think we can get by that? We better, Sarge. The whole Chinese army is in back of us. Take her ahead easy, like Goglia. Hit that left tread hard. No use, Sarge. We're stuck and slipping. That left tread is hung up. No more traction. This buggy's gonna slide down the cliff any minute. Let's get out of here. Let's go, men. Hightail it back up the road. Leave the ignition on, Goglia. Let's go, Burke. Nuts this, Goglia. I'm staying here. Burke won't go, Sarge. Get out, Burke, or I'll kick you out. Might as well die here as out there. Now duck for cover. Bertha's going, ugh! Sergeant McMullen's hit. He shouldn't have stood up there so long. It was your fault, Bert. Sarge climbed up there to get you. Hey! There goes Bertha! Blum, 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 crack! Boom! There goes the ammo. Okay, men, let's get organized here. It looks like we're surrounded on all sides. We're in a pretty good defensive position on the hill here. Goglia, you and Flicky can catch the road going north and south. Bert, you guard the west slope from that notch and I'll watch the valley. Guard the slope for what? We're as good as dead now. What's the sense? I'm not gonna guard no slope. Deep in enemy territory, a million Chinese all around us. You guys guarding? What you guarding? 4 guys against an army? What a laugh. Our number's up. We should give up. What's the use? Let's give up and get it over with. I don't care what you guys do. I'm giving up. You guys can rot. Hey! Surrender! I surrender! White flag! Let him go, Strat. We'll be better off without him. I'll watch the slope in his place. I guess you're right, Sarge. He just depressed us into giving up. Sure you can fire that gun? Yeah, Strat. Watch the valley. Look! Here they come! Don't waste any ammo, men. Pam! Pow! Pam! Bam! Strat, I'm all out of bullets. Let me have a few clips, huh? My bandolier's just about an indie flick. Hey, Sarge, got any ammo? Not much. Make every shot count. Looks like the army's forgotten us. Maybe Burke had something. Okay, guys. No more ammo. Not much left to do. Fix the bayonets. Look, a bonsai charge up the north road. Let's make it good, men. Boom! A miracle! Planes! Our planes! An umbrella of planes! Hey, look up there! 12 o'clock high! A helicopter! Hop in, soldiers. The climate down here isn't too good for us. On the double! Wonder if Burke was captured. Maybe he'll stick around. If we could wait. Let's go, soldier! This bus is leaving on schedule. The men clamber aboard, and as abruptly as it dropped, the helicopter jerks aloft. Vroom! And as the helicopter rises, the heart of Alan Burke, the tankman without hope, drops. He turns to face the guns of angry soldiers, frustrated Chinese soldiers who have just seen their prey snatched from their hands. Down below, a pond by the road, a beetle working its way to the shore gives up the struggle, and a hungry fish comes along. And this is the end. The tank is named Bouncing Bertha with the casual affection soldiers give to things they depend on and cannot control. Kurtzman knows exactly what he is doing with that detail. Severin and Elder together are an unusual pairing. Severin's precision draftsmanship and Elder's more fluid line. In 0 hour, that combination produces something specific. A trench that feels both technically documented and deeply human. You know exactly where you are, and you do not want it to be there. I was a sergeant in the big war of 1918. That September morning, I stood in a trench, listening to the mighty Allied barrage that had been going on since midnight. I stood watching the sun come up over the Argonne, waiting for the minute hand to reach the 6th hour, waiting for 6 to hop the bags, waiting for the 0 hour. I watched the men. You could tell the veterans from the replacements, the apprehension from the calm. The moment was approaching. The Boche must have thought we were sending over a whole ammunition dump. And we were. I had the shot to be heard. Over the top! And over we went, yelling at the top of our lungs. And it didn't sound like much because suddenly the artillery had stopped to let us through, and our voices couldn't dent the silence. That is, compared to the big guns. We ran low and stooped over through mountains of barbed wire that had been tossed aside by mortars. The kid, one of the replacements, ran close behind me. Gee, Sergeant, I don't hear anything up ahead. Are you sure there are Germans ahead? Is this the way the war is? This is my first charge. I don't know what to do. First thing, greaseball, is keep a 20-foot distance between you and the man ahead of you. Get it, soldier? Aw, come on, kid. You can stick close to me. Just watch me. I'll show you the ropes. Gee, thanks, Sergeant, sir. Want me to help you carry anything there? I'll help you carry your wire cutters. Don't worry about any Boches attacking from the rear. I'm covering you, Sarge. Whoops, looks like a deserted trench up ahead. And barbed wire back of that. Pass the word back to halt. Bring up that wire cutter, kid. We're going to cut a road through the wire. How you coming, Sarge? Want me to take over the wire clipper? I'm covering you, Sarge. Don't worry about a thing. Anything else I can do? Yeah, kid. Shut your big fat... Half a minute and no sign of Jerry resistance. Let me get this barbed wire and... What's that? Clickety-clack. Hey, cover, men! There's a Jerry machine gun up ahead. Sounds like a couple of Jerry machine guns out there. Anyone get hit? Yeah, the kid's still out there. You mean that recruit? The kid who was with me? Yeah, wait, listen. Fellas! Help me, fellas! Listen, it's the kid. He's alive out there. Help! Can you see him? Yeah, there he is, hung up on the barbed wire. Help, fellas! Hey, give me a hand. I'm shot, fellas. Get down! The Jerry see us. Whee! Pling! Please, please, give me a hand, guys. Oh, please, please. Sergeant, that poor kid's driving us nuts. Powers and I would like to bring him in. He'd be dead before you take 2 steps, Stofka. But you can't let him die that way. How cold-blooded can you be? Go then. Go ahead. But don't say I didn't warn you. Go ahead, Powers. I'll follow you from this point. Okay, Starka. Rat-a-tat-tat! Ta-da-da-da-da! The Jerry's played it smart. They knew we'd come out for the kid. They let Powers reach the barbed wire before they opened up. Now there were 2 on the wire. Rat-a-tat-tat! Ta-da-da-da-da! Stofka turned and staggered for the trench. He made it all right. When he hit the trench, he was stone dead. I warned them. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have let them go. And so the day wore on with no reinforcements in sight. We were pinned there. Just give me water. Water, please. The kid out there was turning delirious. It was driving us out of our minds. Help me. Mom? He groaned again and again and again and again, just as regular as a clock. Mama, help! Mama, where are you? Mama! Oh, Lord, why didn't something happen? It would have been more merciful for him to die. I can't stand it. Why doesn't he shut up out there? What am I doing here? I'm getting out of this filthy, rotten war. I'm going home. Home. Stop him! Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. This time it was Brian Kitchens. Old Kitch. The bullet spun him around like a rag doll. Seemed like he'd never fall, but he did. Rat-a-tat-tat! 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 Kitch was one of the old soldiers. It was just a matter of time before all of who'd been in the line too long cracked one way or another. Oh! Oh! 3 men dead. With that moaning kid dying out there, the whole squad would soon be loco. I had to do something. What kind of a thing was this war where grown men called for their mamas? Oh! Blam! What kind of a thing? Where men cry like women? War. What an ugly name. The ugliest disease we men were cursed with. And where did this disease come from? From men. Who was crazy? Kitch or the rest of us? Firing was breaking out all around us. Soon we'd advance. The kid on the barbed wire lay still. My shot had gone true. The end. Zero hour is military terminology for the exact moment an operation begins. Kurtzman uses the clinical language of war planning and then shows you what it looks like from inside the trench. That gap between the terminology and the reality is where this story lives. Wally Wood draws crowds. It is one of his specific gifts. Large number of figures in motion, each one distinct. The mass coherent, but never anonymous. Gettysburg needs that gift. Pickett's charge was 12,000 men crossing a mile of open ground. Wood makes you feel every yard of it. 1863. The South was on the march. Blessed with the success at Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville, Lee decided to advance on Washington. In the face of resistance, Lee ordered his scattered forces to converge and consolidate at a small town on the road hub. Here, he bumped into the Union Army. Oh yes, the town was Gettysburg. On the third day of the battle, a team of horses dragging a limber and 12-pound cannon tore up the slope of Cemetery Ridge to reinforce the solid row of Union guns facing the Confederate Army. Whee! This powder box isn't exactly a feather bed. Man, if you were walking, you'd complain about your feet. Now you riding, you complain about... Hey, Alabama, tell me one thing. How come your home is in the South and you're fighting for the North? Well, I'll tell you. Back in Alabama, my daddy was a big cotton plantation. He wanted me to take it over a real bad way. But my heart wasn't into cotton growing, and I wasn't nothing to find out about machines, factories, that South needed so badly. My daddy, he got real mad at me, chased me out. So I went out to study, married a gal up there. One thing led to another. The war broke out, and here I am. Alright, my boys, unlimber that cannon and roll her into line. Hey, soldier, what's going on here? Yeah, anything happening around here? Alright, you gandy dancers, get that gun in place. Your replacements will soon find out what's happening. Nothing but a big empty field out there. Don't see nothing to shoot at. We'll take another look. Here they come. It's the infantry charge we've been expecting. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, General Pickett and 14,000 men, the cream of the Confederate Army, came out of woods and advanced across the unbroken field. This was Pickett's charge. On they came, the Butternut Boys, Sessions, Johnny Rebs, men from South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, farmers, plantation owners, men in gray, carrying the rebel flag of stars and bars. On they came, marching right into the mouths of northern camp. Lordy, look at 'em come! This'll be murder! Thunder out, Alabama! Now ram down that powder. We're going to fire the canister and grape shot. Ram her down good, Alabama. Stand by, boys. Fire! Vroom! Vroom! My face! My face! What happened? The cannon exploded. It overheated. The Rebs are almost on top of us. Grab a rifle, boys. Every man for himself. Checks, boy. You've been in the artillery so long you can't load a rifle. Just watch me load this old squirrel gun. First a thimble of powder, and then a rifle bowl, which I carries in my cheek. Bang her down on a rock, and fire. Blam! They're all around us, boy. Get that fella with the sword. I'm done for. Let me get my saber out of this damn Yankee. Bam! We got him on the run. Hurrah! Hurrah! The Rebs are running. That evening, Lee abandoned Gettysburg and retreated with his broken army into Virginia. This was the climax of the Civil War, the Waterloo of the South. Taps sounded over a field now at peace, for death brings peace. And in the fitful light of the campfires, 1,500 men could be seen laying in the field. Men laying in all the awkward, rigid attitudes of death, some killed by the whizzing Minnie-balls, others torn by shrapnel or perforated by grape and canister shot, and still others who were killed with the sword and the bayonet and even the bare hands. Gettysburg was now at peace. 1,000 souls were at peace, and somewhere on Cemetery Ridge, beside the silent cannons, the young Northern soldier wept over the body of his Southern officer, who was his father. We cannot dedicate, we cannot concentrate, we cannot hallow these grounds. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg, 1863. Gettysburg is American mythology. Kurtzman put it next to Korea without apology. The uniforms are different, the result is the same. That is the argument. This is Kurtzman drawing his own script again. He did it with Stalemate and Two-Fisted Tales 22. He does it here with Contact. In both cases, the subject is the same. The gap between what soldiers believe about war and what war actually is. When Kurtzman takes the pencil himself, you can assume the point he is making is the one he trusts only himself to make correctly. The Chinese offensive has rolled the United Nations forces back past the 38th parallel. But now the offensive is exhausted and the Chinese and North Koreans have recoiled to re-strengthen and regroup. UN patrols move out, searching, probing, trying to make enemy contact. See anything out there, Lieutenant? Nothing yet, men. Wait until I get a little higher. What's all the caution about? Them damn gooks are probably 50 miles away and still running. Ain't seen the gook yet that measured up to an American. No gook better get near this pig sticker. No, sir. Knock it off, turkey. What's itching you, Weems? Gook's got you nervous? Want me to hold your hand? That's enough out of you, Durkee. Always talking like a big shot. Always using that dumb word, gook. You make it sound like you're a big shot American Superman. You're no Superman. You're just a big bag of... Take cover! Hey! Lieutenant! Lieutenant's yelling to us. Take... Crack! Crack! Lieutenant's been shot! Hit the dirt! Look at him pouring out of the woods. Thousands of them. Woo! Okay, men, let's hold the line here at this railroad embankment. Pour it on them. There's too many of them. Every man for himself. Get out them bayonets. Whole scene of stabbing. Let go of me. Weems, help me. Using the butt of his gun. Crack! Down on his head. Try to knife me, you some bitch. That's right, Durkee. Knife him, Superman! Knife him after I've killed him, big shot! Come on, kid, follow me! Follow me! Let's get out of here while the Chinese regroup. The whole patrol's wiped out. Look into the railroad tunnel. They can't see us in the tunnel. Hug the sides of the tunnels, men. You won't make such a good target. Out. Just you and me, Weems. Keep moving. Watch them silhouette themselves at the tunnel mouth. Ha! There! Broom, broom. Now let's duck out the other end before they catch us from both sides. There's another one sneaking in. Broom, broom. Got him. Now up the embankment. Throw away that broken gun butt and help me carry the ammunition for this gun. If we can reach the high point up there, we'll be able to hold a while. Here they come. That sent them back again. What's the good, Sergeant? There are hundreds of them. And there are just two of us. I'm no super jerk like Durkee. Those Chinese are tough. They're out to get us. How can we ever hope to win against so many Chinese? There are 10 of them to every one of us. I'll show you how we'll win, Weems. Look up there. T6 observation plane. Contest 13. Contest 13. Spotted enemy ground, troops in railway tunnel, send air and ground support. Roger, position, flight of F-86s and killer tank column on the way. Over. Womp! Clang, 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 clang! Pow, pow, pow! Lone hand sticking out of the dirt. Chinese cap covered in rubble. See what I mean, Weems? Planes, tanks, guns. Hundreds and thousands of them. Americans aren't supermen, Weems. An American is a man just like Asiatic is a man. But America is a way of life. We can produce. We can turn out bullets by the billions for war, and we can turn out automobiles and washing machines for peace. Get it, Weems? And as long as we believe in good, we can't go wrong. Tanks lurch forward over the debris of broken stones and men. Overhead, the planes roar through the sky, seeking new targets. Machines against men, steel against flesh. And remember, if we believe in good, we can't go wrong. The protagonist opens with absolute certainty about American superiority. The classic swagger of the soldier who has not yet met the situation that will cost him. Kurtzman does not editorialize, he just follows the logic through. Contact. Military terminology for encountering the enemy. Kurtzman title is doing double work. The tactical meaning and the human one. You will know which one matters by the end. So what does Frontline Combat number 2 add to the EC War project that Two-Fisted Tales number 22 established? First, the time span. This issue covers 3 wars across roughly a century. Korea in 1951, the Western Front in 1917, Gettysburg in 1863. And this is not accident. Kurtzman is building an explicit argument that war is a recurring institution with consistent outcomes, not a series of isolated historical events. Each theater is different, the arithmetic is identical. Second, Kurtzman draws Contact himself, the Korea Patrol story, the most contemporary, the most politically immediate in 1951. He trusts himself with that one specifically. When he takes the pencil, there is no gap between the writer's intention and the line on the page. And in Contact, that matters. Third, the art assignments are doing specific work. Davis on the tank because his kinetic line work matches mechanical violence. Severin Elder on World War I because Severin's precision can document a trench system, and Elder's looser line keeps it human. Wood on Gettysburg because Wood can draw 12,000 men and make each one count. Kurtzman on the patrol story because it's a thesis statement and he needed the control. Fourth, and this is what separates these books from everything else on the stands in 1951, the enemy is never faceless. Not in a single story across this entire issue. Every opposing soldier has a perspective, a set of pressures, a reason for being where they are. In the Korea stories, that means Chinese and North Korean soldiers rendered as human beings. in 1951 in American comics. That is a radical act, and Kurtzman does it without making a speech about it. He just draws it. Next up, Two-Fisted Tales number 23. Same commitment, escalating craft. But that's next time. Felix Lubezki, signing off. Dismissed!